The better bikes for Europe is the, I don't know if it's going to come as a shocker, but it's extremely popular here and very unpopular in the United States. And I've had two of them. It's the NC700X, and they also have the NC700S. The S is the naked version, the X is kind of like the dual sport looking bike that's not really dual sport. But that bike gets like 70 miles to the gallon. It's scooter mileage out of a large displacement engine. And I think that's the reason it makes a great bike, because when you have a 700cc bike like the NC, that engine is very easy to work on. Everything about it is very inexpensive. If you want to work on it, you can still do it. This one is the same way. It uses the valve adjustment that's very easy to adjust. It's very simple. But that NC gets close to the double of the miles per gallon that this thing gets. I don't think I would sell the Africa Twin because, I don't know, it is like a legendary bike and I love the way it looks. It's probably like one of the coolest bikes still, in my opinion. You know, the new Africa Twin, yeah, it's great. It's got everything, 1,000 plus cc's. It's got a great motor, but it's not as cool as this one. The V-twin of the Africa Twin, it's just, sometimes a inline 2 is not great, at least not better. If you want a little bit more of a raw type of experience, the V-twin, you just can't go wrong with it. You can still get the V-Strom 650 in Europe, and that gets like 50-55 miles to the gallon, which is great. But the NC, I mean, you're talking about if you do a sprocket change, you can get like 80-90 miles to the gallon. And everywhere I go, there's NC700s and NC750s just absolutely everywhere. Another bike that's extremely popular is the Tenere 700, but I don't see myself getting it. So the reason I think I would get, or at least use an NC700 for my trip, I'm gonna plan a trip to Africa, instead of this one, is that it's got tubeless tires, it's got fuel injection. The NC, it's got fuel injection, tubeless tires, it's got a very drifty engine, and for me that's a whole lot better than like dealing with tubes, you know, having to get a center stand for this. I probably will still get one, but the gas mileage, man, it is just insane what these people are paying. 7.5 gallon, $7.5 per gallon here. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And ideally, what I would want out of a bike for Europe, for a long-term bike, is a dual sport looking bike. It's shaft drive, it's incredibly good fuel efficiency, and I just don't think that exists. It doesn't exist anymore. Like the NT700V or the NC700X with a shaft drive and that sort of fuel efficiency, I would love that. You know, another thing I would do for this African trip is I would mount the dark side tire on it. I just, man, you know, I know a lot of people watching is like, why do you do such stupid things? Quite frankly, man, I ride at the same speed with a dark side tire as I do a motorcycle tire. And the deep sand right here. Whew. Man, that is a difficult section. You know, around here there's a lot of these old structures, and I wonder why they're kind of like abandoned. You can't live here, for example. So it's kind of strange that these things are still around. I guess people use them to pee and dump stuff. Well, I guess this is the original roof. I don't think I'll find any dead bodies, but you know, if I was like riding and I needed a place to stay, I'd probably stay in one of these. It's nice and hidden. I could bring my bike inside here. It'll be like super easy, but look at that. Just, I guess people also come here and dump stuff, but you don't see a lot of that. This must belong to the state. That's a kitchen at some point. Look at this, perfect campground. You don't even have to put anything. You got like a roof. That's pretty darn good. There's a lot of these structures around Portugal. I wish there was like stuff like this where I live in the US. Look at this, there's a well here. Holy shit, that's pretty deep. It's full of trash though. But I am kind of curious to know what all of this stuff is for. Are they just going to demolish it? It's been here for years. And you see over there is like a nice green farm. It's rare to see a green farm here. But they're spraying water, so hence the reason it's green. Because most of the time it's just like this. It's kind of cool just being... I have nowhere to be. I can just ride slowly, look around. Yeah. This is a great little spot. The Silver Coast area. A lot of people are moving here. You know, I forgot how hot this bike gets around here. Today it's relatively cool, so it's not that bad. But I remember coming to Figueira da Foz once. I was boiling, and this is what happens. Like, Figueira da Foz has got a lot of people living here because it's so beautiful. You know, it kind of feels like you're in Santa Barbara or something. Inside the Figueira. Oh, hey, look, McDonald's. So this area, it has much larger buildings than Aveiro. You see all of these buildings. Portugal doesn't really build high-rises unless you go to like Lisbon. But even then, most of the buildings are very short. There's a gas station there. I'll just see what their prices are. This is the line for the gas? Oh, screw that. I don't get it. Are you going to fill up here? Why isn't he like stopped over here? Oh. I don't get it. By the way, all the gas stations don't take credit card, and it's all by the honor system. But all gas stations have a one-way thing because they record your license plate. So if you ever take off, they just, I guess they fine you. Oh my god, this thing just thirsty. This is a freaking thirsty bike. 20 euros. Doesn't even fill it up. That's insane. Alright, I'm gonna go and pay this. Oh, Ellie. 6. Seis. Oh. Posso pegar ali. Okay. I guess you pay on the way out here. Okay. What is this guy? There's always a guy in the circle that's just lost. Let me see if we can go straight here. Very confusing roads here. There's a bunch of motorcyclists revving their engines here. Oh my God, it's so difficult for these people. Jesus Christ, this guy. That's insane how slow this guy turns. You know, one of the things I like about Portugal is that it's a very family-oriented place. You don't see a lot of people like gangbanging each other in the middle of the street like you do in the US. You don't see a lot of twerking. I haven't seen one single person twerk here, even though I've been crossing my fingers. Some girls twerking. In the US, you know, you get women twerking that shouldn't be twerking. And since when did twerking become a thing, you know? Honestly, the women that I see twerking, it's quite disgusting. It's just like fat. It's just like disgusting. You use legs with stretch marks. I don't get that. It's like the one thing that fat women can still do, I guess, for sport, for exercise. Hey, look at that. That's a R1100 GS. I like those. You know, those are the non-assuming GSs. Nowadays, it's like, it's too big, too expensive. Like, and I see guys riding those like all over, which is good. But I don't know, it's just too pretentious. It's become a pretentious bike for pretentious people. See where people live in Figueira da Foz, because you know the main drag, you're only going to find immigrants, and here immigrants are kind of like what the tourists are, and tourists from other countries visiting, and of course people who are catering to tourists. But the real people live outside of most of the city center. So live popular radio, I wonder if that's like a local radio station. Oh, this is N109 up ahead. That goes all the way to Aveiro. Can I see the beach? Oh, I can see the water from here. Man, just that little water view would be millions of dollars in the US. In my village, I go in, people will come and talk to you for 2 hours. Like I'm trying to like clean my yard. They'll talk to you for 2 hours, and I'm like, hey, I gotta do this. And then they're like, hey, let's get coffee. No, coffee takes 30 minutes at the very least. And you know, I'm not like I'm not really a people person, but Jesus Christ, if you want to do something around the house, you're gonna have to like talk to like 3 people that are going to be asking you what you're doing in the house, and then they'll tell you all the permits that you need. We're back in Figueira da Foz, the downtown area. This is of course where all the tourists would be. Look at that motorcycle with a lady. Nice. It's kind of nice seeing women riders that are not posers. Nice. Look at that bike. You know, that's the thing, like the women like to hang off the bikes. They're not like the Harley lesbians that we have in the US. They're actually good looking here. They're like in good shape, they eat well. But you ever see like biker women in the US? They're all like chubby. You know, here's the thing about like women in the US that ride bikes. They're usually 2s. If you're gonna rate them like in a scale, 2s. And then they get on the bike, they get to feel like they're 10s for a while. because, you know, it's like a sausage fest. So they just get passed around like a beer bottle. No, like a bong. Like a bong. They get passed around like a bong. What else gets passed around? STDs? Yeah, they get passed around like STDs. So on the weekend, get ready for this. This is common to have this amount of traffic going through the main strip of the Figueira de Foz. Favorite part is away from this strip and right over there. You see where those cars are coming? And of course, everybody's got their own idea to ride this beautiful road on every single beautiful car that they have. Look at that beach. That's Quayos, I believe. Really awesome. Well guys, that's another ride here in Portugal on the awesome legendary XR 750 Africa Twin. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and subscribe to all other moto vloggers like Angry D, Moto Giant, Adventure Glide, and all those other guys. I'll put a link in the description below. Alright guys, bye. I'll see you in the next ride.